That's right. I'm here in the corner of 25th and Oak at this standoff, just a couple of feet away where everything's unfolding. Let me show you how it stands right now. The subject, Jason McAtee, is in that silver Hyundai. As you can see, it's being flanked by armed Adams County Sheriff's deputies and QPD officers. Now, check this out. There's two places this water main break is kind of going on. The first one is right here. As you can see, a little crack, and you can see some water bubbling through to the surface. But the big one, as we move a little bit further this way, is over here. As you can see, this entire section of pavement has been pushed up, and water has been gushing through that crack for as long as I've been on scene, and that's been for about 30-ish or so minutes. And authorities say this is where it started, right at this Lowhead Dam over here. They say Allen's canoe went over the dam and then capsized. Now, while it may not look that dangerous, they say there's a reason these dams are referred to as drowning machines. Now, as you can see, there is still crime scene tape up here in the alley between, just south of York Street, in between 5th and 6th Streets. Now, Quincy police say they got a call about a man covered in blood here in this alley around 7 a.m., just around the corner from the Cheerful Home Day. Crews from the Quincy Parks Department were out here today cleaning up hangers. Those are branches that had separated from the tree behind me, but still hadn't fallen to the ground yet. However, a lot of the damage was already done. Check this out. One of the big branches fell onto the baseball backstop that sits just below the tree. As you can see, it completely crumpled in the front lip of the backstop, completely bending it over. Now, while crews say they are working to fix this damage, they say it's going to take some time. Business 61 without cars is a rare sight to see, but it does give us a chance to look at why this street needs some work. Check this out. A lot of cracks in the asphalt, a lot of places where that needs filling, and also the curbs, they're not looking too good either. Dylan, that's right. Just blocks away from the City Hall and the Quincy Police Headquarters. Scoreboard owner Judy Hull got this written warning from QPD officers today for reopening her doors to customers. It's very quiet here now in the 500th block of 25th Street, but that certainly wasn't the case about 3 hours ago. Now, we were standing at the spot where that standoff resolved, and as you can see, there's really nothing left of the scene save some water on the ground and a single discarded medical glove. A packed bar, full plates, and topped-off glasses. A busy Monday morning at the Scoreboard. Owner Judy Huff says she couldn't wait any longer to reopen.
I'm going to start losing my business. It started, it's going to continue to roll. I've worked too hard. I have employees to think of.
She says it's time for state officials to start thinking of small businesses.
To me, our governor is not doing his job. Our governor is becoming a bully and a tyrant. Let us open, give us back our livelihoods. It's uncalled for.
Customers say they agree.
I think there's a big differentiation between being afraid of something and respecting something. We need to respect the virus, not be afraid of the virus.
We can't shut down a whole state for the North.
They say as long as people are smart and keep practicing good social distancing, there shouldn't be any problems.
Keep your germs away from other people's germs. Wash your hands.
Huff says with many other businesses in similar situations, now is the time for solidarity.
Any other business that's opening up, the Scoreboard is here to back you. We are all in this together.
Much to the relief of the assembled crowd, Jason McAtee emerged from his silver Hyundai and surrendered to the multitude of law enforcement officers around 7:15 p.m.
They did a great job of what looks like negotiating with him, and then we were all calm because it looked like it was very organized. They knew what they were doing.
On scene since 2:30 p.m., QPD says while negotiators did manage to establish contact with McAtee at first, he then stopped responding. Just before 6:30 p.m., officers moved an armored personnel carrier into position, blocking McAtee in and leaving him nowhere to go. With everyone in position, officers began the process of forcing him out of the car.
It was nerve-wracking, especially because the sounds, we didn't know if they were gunshots or if they were, if it was gas or what they were doing.
QPD Deputy Chief Shannon Pilkington says they fired a number of CS gas rounds into McAtee's car.
They call ferret rounds. They're hard plastic on the end, and they puncture the glass, and then the gas comes out the end of it's introduced into the vehicle.
He says ultimately the gas broke the stalemate, leading McAtee to surrender. Pilkington says he wants to thank the other agencies for helping resolve a tense situation with no injuries.
We all work together. We are a small community. We have to rely on each other. And you see everybody kicked in something today and got this resolved.
He told me he would kill me, and I was never going to see my kids and my mom and them again.
Tabitha Campbell says her nightmare started on July 17th when she went to Mason's room, Unit 124. She says after they got into a fight over her not wanting to move out of town with him, he hit her, tied her up, and sexually assaulted her.
He's a devil. He's a devil. And he should not be out on the street. He shouldn't be.
Stealing her friend's car, Campbell says Mason drove them to the area near the Tennessee-Arkansas border. Staying in hotels, she says over the next 4 days, the violence was nonstop.
When I would fall asleep without his permission, he will punch me in the back of my head or my back or, my wrist. Well, he will punch me in my wrist a lot. Well, finally, he broke them. He broke the 8th and 9th one.
Campbell says she escaped on the 5th day, jumping out of the car at a stop sign in Marked Tree, Arkansas. Now back in Quincy, Campbell says some of the scars she's carrying are starting to fade.
It used to be a big one, but now it's just a little tiny one now.
But others linger still.
I hate myself because of what happened. And my mom told me it's not my fault, and it's not.
She says she has a message for women across the tri-states, especially her 14-year-old daughter.
If someone is hurting you or doing the things that it went on with me, please go to the cops. Turn them in, get them arrested, do something. Don't be around someone that does that to you because that's not love.